Now, under the thing, what I want you to do is just list features of how you do what you do.
So we start with workshops,
Yep. Are they in person or live stream or both?
live stream.
Cool.
I also offer one-on-one in person, but then we also offer one-to-many group for the smaller businesses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Now just talk about some of the features of like, what do they learn? Don't get into outcomes yet. Just think about curriculum.
So we're still here?
Yep. Still under thing.
So curriculum, so you learn optimize brand language. So your brand's identity, how to talk to your customers or future customers in the way that they want you to. So we do that. And then we do ideation. So how to come up with organic ideas that speak that language.
How many ideas will they come up with? Do you know?
Roughly 100 plus ideas. Yep. And that is a mixture of manual and brainstorming, scraping from the internet, and AI utilization.
Yeah, cool. Another way to think through this thing category is like the who, what, where, when, how.
Yeah. So, okay.
So who's it for again?
So who's it for? It's for business owners, established business owners.
Cool. We've got the what, which is the workshops and the different variations. Yeah. The where is kind of the same, live stream or in person. Yeah. What about the how?
The how, so we go through a digital workbook. Everyone has access to it, and it's all lifetime access. It's updated as well via something called Notion. And we go through the workbook across 1 to 2 days. So 1 to 2 days, and then there's a bit of theory, but there's a lot of practical.
Cool. What does the practical look like?
So the practical is you will film at least, or let's say up to, because some people go less, up to 20 vids. Mm-hmm. And then you will learn how to edit, and you will have 7 drafts in your social media channel.
Cool. Is there anything that happens after the workshop?
Yeah, so, and then after that, you also get delegation strategy, and that's for how to onboard a social media manager internally, or how to talk to a videographer back and forth properly so that they don't go spastic on you, and how to navigate an editing team as well.
Yeah.
What happens after the workshop? Learned this from you.
Yeah.
6 months of support.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do this via WhatsApp. But then I'm also eventually doing a school as well.
Yep.
And eventually after that will be advisory stuff. But yeah, 6 months of support for when you finish a video and you want to post it, but you're not sure, then you send it to me to review it, to give you feedback if you're still not quite sure, so you have more confidence in posting it. And then when a video does well, and you want to know why, we discuss it. That's part of the support. Or if a video or a set of videos bombs, we then go over it and we talk about why they could have not done so well. When you get a DM, how to respond to it properly. Or when you get a whole body of new followers, how to talk to them to then move them from curious to committed. Yeah,
cool. So we've touched on one of the results, which is like filming 20 videos. Can you and we've already also spoken about them from the customer avatar as well.
Yeah.
But what are some of the results and outcomes they get? So don't get to feeling yet. So feeling would be like the camera anxiety, but the result would be like, what are the like tangible outcomes that they get?
Yeah. So the first result that I have to talk about, because it's the trend, unfortunately, it's vanity metrics.
Yeah.
The views increased.
Yep.
But that's part of it anyway. So views are increased, engagement, inquiry increase, and most importantly, sales increase.
Yeah, cool. You jumped to what I was thinking I might have to push you to do, because usually when I talk to content people, that they'll just talk about like the idea of build brand. Like we posted a reel about this the other day, where like content agencies, videographers, they'll just talk about the idea of building brand. But just like we did with the customer avatar, you want to ask, then what happens, then what happens, then what happens.
Right.
Because sometimes there's a lag indicator, which is a far more compelling reason.
Yeah. So the reason why I want this result is, like you said, the sales increase, you will also understand why the sales has increased to then reflect back to the views, because then that will snowball as well.
Yep.
Very similar strategy to what you do, except just for organic.
Yep, cool. Any other outcomes?
So vanity metrics, and then also the revenue metrics. So I'll just label this properly, which is that one. And then from there, you will know, the result will have a content management system internally.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else? Like you can also think of outcomes.
Outcomes will be, more customers. And then you'll also have, I said more brand awareness, which is increase.
Once you find yourself kind of going in a circle, that's kind of where you tie it up.
But yeah, you'll also have optimized ad creative. So one of the results was, we had a video that went viral. I'm like, great, where was the audience? And they would say, in America. Great, is that where your customers are? They're like, no. I'm like, cool, where's your customers? They say, Perth, the city. I'm like, great, run it as an ad, target Perth. Then what happened? Customers.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's talk about the feelings. So when they achieve these outcomes, what are the feelings or emotions that they say they experience?
They actually say they're overwhelmed.
We're overwhelmed with leads.
Yeah, overwhelmed with leads. Another feeling is clarity. Don't need to guess.
So it's predictable.
Yeah, it's more predictable. Marketing feels easier, and excitement for next piece of content. And they're also addicted. And that's the main one I like to get to, because when I did this for my own business, and I got a lead from an organic piece of content, I was addicted to making more. And that's the same process I like to get my customers to as well.
Cool. Sweet. So now what we've written out is we've just started with like, these are workshops, but we've unpacked that so we know all the different features. We've found the results and the outcomes. We've chased them downstream a little bit, but now we also know like you'll experience this and you will feel this. And so what we want to do next, if you pass me the whiteboard marker, is next we're going to write a headline for the landing page. So you want to think of the headline as obviously just the big idea. Now, like I said, like advertising is an art versus a science. So with the headline, you can do or say whatever the fuck you want within the advertising policies and the law. The science is how do we measure that, typically with a conversion rate, right? So what we do to write that headline is, just to give you some guardrails, we want the headline to be a combination. So headline equals result plus feeling. So what we want to do is we want to look at everything we've written down, because we've written down lots of things, and we want to go, what two stand out to us the most? So which feeling do you feel like just stands out to you the most and is the most compelling?
I would say overwhelmed with leads.
Yeah, probably, because it's the first one that you came up with.
Yeah.
Right? And then what outcome do you feel is the most compelling?
From the results?
Yeah. Yeah, from the results.
I would say more customers.
Yeah.
Well, they're the same thing though. Yeah, more customers. You get so many more customers, you're overwhelmed by them. So that's the result and the feeling.
Yeah. So you already just said the headline. What did you just say? You get overwhelmed with so many customers.
You get so many customers, you're overwhelmed by how many you're getting.
Yeah. So then that would be like your draft headline. So your draft headline now is create content that overwhelms you with leads.
Yeah.
Or create so much content it overwhelms you with customers.
Yeah.
Right? That's your headline.
Now, from a integrity point of view, when it comes to how soon it happens, when students or clients call you up and go, what's the guarantee, or how long will it take? With ads, it's instant. With organic, it's different. It depends.
So then it comes to managing expectations, right? So that's when it's communicated in like your nurture sequences, on the landing pages, in the FAQs.
You've got to put in the effort.
In the sales process as well, right? But just merely at the headline, at like face value, like just saying get so many customers you're overwhelmed, or create content that overwhelms you with leads and sales, that's sufficient, right?
Yeah.
And then the sub headline, because when people look at the landing page, if this is the landing page, there's a big piece of text up here, which is the headline we've just drafted. Their eyes will scan that, go, sounds cool, but like, how does that actually work? And then the sub headline is the more micro. Because if you think macro, slightly less macro, micro. So now the sub headline, what we do is we just need to make a sentence or two without overthinking it that just elaborates how you achieve these results and feelings.
Yeah.
And so what it might be is something like, this is my first draft, is 2-day workshops to ideate 100+ ideas and implement them before you leave.
Yep.
That's my first draft.
Yep.
Now, just as a workflow tip for anyone, I kind of fucking raw dogged that one and just ripped it on the first go. But when we do this in the workshop, what I find is an easier workflow is often when people like they look at their page, they're just looking at the words and trying to draft the headline in their head. What is often more helpful, or at least easier to do, is just write down a shit headline. Just go, all right, if I had to make a sentence out of that and that, what's that sentence? Write down the really bad sentence, look at it, feel a little bit of shame for how you've abolished the fucking Queen's English and go, all right, not my best work. But if I had to remix this into something that I'd actually be happy to publish, what would that be? It's much easier to look at the words on the page and remix them than it is to just bounce draft after draft around in your head. Same with the subheadline.
So going over it, result is you have more customers that are overwhelmed, that you're overwhelmed with leads through our live workshops, whether it's in person or online. Do you go into that much detail in that subheading, or?
It doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, we're not really, like, again, we're still pretty high up on the page.
Yeah.
So we're not getting too into the micro. Like, this is sufficient. They can go, yeah, I like the idea of workshops, but then they'll think, is it online or is it in person? They might scroll down and find that out.
Oh, there's 2 options. Cool.
Yeah, right. And then that's when you have the FAQs, different sections, and we'll go through like what sections do we need to have to address all of this. And again, because the landing page is just one big debate and we need to order the content, prioritize the content and communicate the content in a way that it talks them into at least completing that application form and just doing the next step.
Yep.